So this evening, before we start, just to say that please always do your yoga in a way that feels right for you. So if I suggest moving or something that doesn't feel comfortable, please rest out. So it's not about what I'm saying, I'm just a guide. What's important is how your body is feeling. So you might like to start by closing your eyes and just saying, what does my system need tonight? Or might not be tonight, wherever you are, but what do I need? So just drop that question into your depths and see if you can then follow that for the hour or so that we're going to be together. And also remember that it's fine to not look at your device all the time, because looking at devices can be tiring. So there might be some times when I'll suggest that you do look up if I need to guide you, but most of the time my voice should be enough. So I'm going to start by just giving a short talk around the chakra that we're working on, which is Vishuddhi, the throat chakra. And I'm going to try to not talk too much, because I am aware that talking can be tiring. But also, I think it's really helpful to kind of know what it is, how we're wanting our energy to work for us. And I'm going to just start by saying that the throat chakra, which is of course around here, quote from my teacher, he says that truth takes us out of suffering, but our conditioning and projections veil the truth and cause us to suffer. So if you might like to just think about that, and I'd just like to share with you that a few years ago, I did something which is very untruthful for me. I expressed something that wasn't my truth, and I caused the most tremendous suffering for myself. And I was doing it because I was trying to people please and trying to please all the people around me. And for me personally, it's been a huge lesson how important this chakra is in actually expressing our truth. So that means the truth that we feel in the heart, so that our actions are aligned with what we're feeling and what we're expressing. So Vishuddhi chakra is all about the throat, the ears, the tongue, the mouth, the thyroid gland, and the neck. And it has the bija mantra of hum, H-A-M, hum, om, hum. And it has the element of space. And Vishuddhi chakra is said to be the gateway to our spiritual domains. And it's very much helped with chanting. It's very much about expressing truth. And my teacher also says that we want to be engaging in elevating conversation, not in gossip, and never in lying, especially to ourselves. So it's not just about speaking our truth. It's also about having the freedom to express our truth. And my teacher also says, Kaustap his name is, that social media takes our energy down because it embraces opinion, not truth. And I always love, I don't know if anyone here knows Sharon Salzberg, who's quite a well-known Buddhist teacher. And she always says that the only truth that there is what's in our direct experience now in this moment, because anything else has the filter of memory or projection or anticipation. So the only truth is here now in this moment. Politeness, that might be a way of veiling our truth and not speaking, authentically. So truth is about what the heart feels and how that is communicated. It's also about authentic and deep listening. So it's about what we express and how in harmony that is with our own personal truth. And in yoga, it's said that words can change matter. It's actually a very important principle in yoga, that words, and particularly mantra, can change matter for the good or for the not so good. The more that we speak truth, the more aligned we are, and the more we are then manifesting this truth. If the prana is weak, if the energy is weak in the throat chakra, there may be a fear of speaking out. We may have a weak voice, we may be tone deaf, have poor rhythm, we can't express our feelings, we may be a people pleaser. And if the prana is strong, or it's too strong, we may be a poor listener. The speech may be aggressive, we may be dominating, manipulative, and our speech may be scattered and unfocused. And I think I've already said that kind of the challenge to this chakra is lies, opinion, the news, which of course is always opinion too. So it's all about this element of space, room for heart-to-heart communication. And when it's in balance, it has the attribute of creativity, communicating authentic power. The voice is resonant and balanced. We're a good listener. We have good sense of delivery. We're clear. And of course, we speak authentically. And then just before we actually start, I'm also going to add to this that every chakra has the potential to have a trauma. And the trauma for this chakra would be if we have been lied to, or our speech has been repressed, like we swallow our feelings, being ignored, being criticized, being yelled at, verbal abuse, or keeping secrets. And I always say, as we work through the chakras, as we have been doing, some will resonate with you more than others. So for me, this resonates a lot with me, as does the Muladhara, the base chakra, but you'll have your own things that you will resonate with. But, you know, I come back to these words, that truth takes us out of suffering. And if we're not expressing truth, it can create great suffering for us. And nobody wants that. So let's start by just closing the eyes if you would like. If you don't want to close the eyes, that's fine too. And just begin to connect with your breath, noticing the difference between your in breath and your out breath. And thinking of the way, the breath being like a gentle wave, inhaling, exhaling. And if you're not comfortable following your breath, you might like to take your hands to your belly and just notice the rise and fall of the belly with the breath. And then really coming into the body, just observe how you're feeling now, emotionally, physically, mentally, and energetically. And however that is, see if you can greet that with kindness, or at least acceptance. Just allowing yourself to be here now. And then we're going to take our fingertips very gently and place them around the throat in any way that's comfortable for you. So it might be your thumbs, or it might be your fingertips. And we're going to, with the eyes closed, if that's comfortable for you, we're going to chant Om, Hum. And if you don't want to chant, you can just listen. So we'll do this as call and response. I'll chant to you and then you chant back to me. And we'll do this 3 times. Om, Hum. Om, Hum. Om, Hum. And then take your hands, place one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. Just feel the softness of your clothing and your body under your hands. And again, just connect with the breath. So feel the breath in the belly rather than in the chest. Breathing through the nose, letting the breath be slow, just slowing it down a little if that's comfortable for you. Just observing the effect of the mantra on the whole being. And then when you're ready, please come down to lying if that's comfortable for you. So you can lie on the floor on your mats, you can lie on a bed, you can lie on a sofa. And I know some of you, a couple of you might actually find it hard to lie on your back, so it's also fine to lie on your front. So just make yourself really comfortable. If you're lying on your back, I suggest you start with the knees bent. And place something under your head to help the back of the neck to just lengthen. And then just take a moment or two to adjust yourself so you're comfortable. So think about where you're placing your arms. Classically, the arms are away from the body with the palms facing up, but if that doesn't work for you, you might prefer to have them on the belly. So just experiment with how you feel comfortable. And if your knees are bent, your feet are about hip width apart. But again, if that's not comfortable, you might like to bring the knees together just to rest them. And then take a moment or two to tune into how your back is feeling, just allowing it to surrender completely to the earth, to gravity, knowing that the earth is always there to support you so you can fully let go. Particularly around the shoulders, it might help you to roll your shoulders or wriggle them away from your ears, and releasing your jaw, softening your eyes. And just see if you can find that place of stillness. And then very slowly roll your head to the left, feeling the heaviness of the head, feeling how that affects the shoulders and the neck. And then really slowly as you can, roll the head to the right, maybe taking as much as a minute or even 2 as you roll it slowly to the other side. Feeling the effect on the shoulders and the neck. Allowing everything to soften and release. And then take that movement once more to each side. So back to the left, then to the right, then center, but really slowly. We're aiming to do everything really beautifully slowly in yoga. Nothing is rushed or forced. And then if it's comfortable for you and you don't have back problems, you can stretch out one leg, then the other. And if you've got back problems, you might like to keep the knees bent. And then I would suggest for the full Shavasana, you have the feet wide apart, but if that's not comfortable, again, you can just experiment. And then again, just take your awareness into your breath. And if you like, you can take your hands and place them on the belly with the middle finger touching. And as you inhale, you might feel the middle fingers slightly coming apart. And as you exhale, the middle fingers come back together. Breathing through the nose, breathing slowly and gently. So you're not breathing too deep, but you are breathing diaphragmatically. And then spend a moment or two just focusing on the exhalation. So the in-breath is free. Just allow the out breath to be long, fluid, and smooth. So you're breathing out fully before the in-breath comes in. And then just gently moving the fingers and toes, preparing for some very gentle movement, only as much as you like. Remembering you can rest out whenever you want to. And around the hands and fingers, just be aware of the sensation in the hands, visualizing this as white light. As you inhale, breathe this up the arms into the throat, and then breathing out down the arms again. Sending that out breath out through the fingertips. So you breathe in through the fingers, feeling that energy coming up the arms into the throat, and then breathing out down the arms again. And then when you're ready, and if you would like, take your hands and very gently place them around your throat. Again, in any way that's comfortable. It might be the fingers on the throat. It might be the thumbs. And we are going to inhale and then open the arms wide at shoulder level. And then we're going to chant the fingers back to the throat. Om Hum. Inhale, open the arms wide. And chant them back. Om Hum. And do that up to 3 times more in your own breathing rhythm. I won't chant with you because that might be different from your breath rhythm. And if you just want to do the movement, that's fine too. And then when you've finished, we're just going to take some full body stretches to open up the front of the body, to open up through the diaphragm and the rib cage. So bring your feet together. And then when you're ready, take an in-breath and take the arms up behind you, making sure you're not in any pain. Just take them to whatever's your comfortable range. I suggest you open them wide. So the backs of the hands might come to the floor, they might not. And then hold that stretch as you breathe. Point the toes away from you. Feel the ribs opening as you open up. And feeling space from the fingertips down to the toes. just creating lovely space in the body, remembering that space is this element of the throat chakra. And then take another inhalation, and then exhaling, let the arms float slowly back down beside the body. And now we're going to move the arms like a pump. So we're not going to engage the feet now. So we're going to inhale, take the arms up behind us. Exhale, the arms float back. So the end of the out breath, the palms come back beside the hips. So inhaling slowly, movement in time with the breath. So it's like a moving meditation. Arms come behind you, arms open wide. Exhale, let the palms float back slowly, slowly in time with that breath. Feeling the arms like feathers, weightless. The end of the out breath, the palms come back to the hips. Take that up to 5 times in your own breath rhythm. Keeping your awareness just in the movement and the breath, and the coordination of the movement and the breath. And then when you're ready, bend the knees, having the feet hip width apart. I will work with you for this one in case you need to look up, but hopefully my voice will be enough to guide you. So just become aware of your right foot. Lift up your right foot, palms are down beside the body. Back of the neck is long, chin coming into the chest. Lift the right foot and hook it over the left knee. And then take the arms out beside you like a cross with the palms turned up. Take an in-breath, and then as you exhale, take your knees over towards the right. Roll the head to look over the left shoulder, keeping the shoulders aligned and engaged with the floor. So you're into a spinal twist. And just take some resting breaths here. Feeling the breath particularly in the left rib cage. And then on your next in-breath, lift the knees, center the head, and then drop that right foot to the mat. And then just align yourself, check you're straight. And then when you're ready, become aware of the left foot, lift the left foot, hook it over the right knee, take an in-breath, and as you breathe out, twist the knees over towards the left and roll your head to look over the right shoulder. And take some resting breaths here, feeling the stretch maybe in the hip, feeling the breath and the opening in the right rib cage, keeping the shoulders aligned on the mat. And then inhale, lift the knees, center the head, drop that right foot, that left foot to the mat, and then bring the soles of the feet together, open up through the knees, and then you can either rest with the palms on the belly, or if you want a slightly more dynamic movement, you can take the arms above the head. But really listen in to what your body needs. Remember the question I asked you to ask yourself at the beginning. What do I need? So listen into your heart. Does it feel better hands on the belly or hands above the head? And just take some resting breaths here. with the eyes closed if you would like. Breathing slowly through the nose, just seeing the rise and fall of the belly. And then when you're ready, take the palms down beside the hips, bring the knees together. If that's been quite tight on your hips and your groin, you can just massage into the groin. And then you're going to bring one knee, then the other over the abdomen. Just rock out the spine from side to side, just enjoying a nice gentle rock. And then take one hand to each knee. Take a lovely inhalation. And then as you exhale, just let the knees calm towards the abdomen, feeling the lower back open up as the knees come in towards you. Inhaling, just allow the knees to move away from you so the elbows straighten. Remember, you can hold under the knees if you prefer. Exhale, the knees come in towards the belly. Inhale, straighten the elbows. And just take up to 3 more breaths, slowly like that, in time with your breath. So the breath and the movement are combined. And then just rest with the knees over the belly, drop the hands beside the hips. And then you can inhale and lift the right leg if you would like. And you can keep that right leg soft with the knee bent and the foot gentle, or you can open up the back of the knee and flex the foot. Just take a couple of breaths as you hold. And then exhale, bend the right knee back. And then inhale and stretch up with the left leg. And work with the same time, holding for the same time on the left as you did on the right. And then you can either rest out or you can take yourself through that once or twice more on each side, remembering that you're not competing with yourself, remembering that there's no competition here, no competition anywhere in yoga. So if you feel that resting is now more nourishing for you, that's what you're here for. If on the other hand you feel you want to move a little bit more, then that's fine too, but really listen to your body. Because part of our yoga journey is about learning to listen to ourselves, to listen to our heart, to listen to our own cues, not to pay too much attention to what's going on around us, because sometimes that might be out of harmony with what we should actually be doing for ourselves. And when you've finished stretching on both sides, take yourself back into your version of Shavasana, the relaxation posture. And just take a moment or two to observe the effect of the practice so far on the emotions, on the mind, on the energy. And again, bring this sense of acceptance and compassion to however you are in this moment. And see if you can connect with the still point after the exhalation, just allowing yourself to become more and more quiet and peaceful. And then when you're ready, if you like to roll to one side and come up into a cat posture. So that's like a tabletop posture with the hands under the shoulders and the knees under the hips. And for those of you that might have challenges with your knees or you find that difficult, it's also fine to work from a chair. So decide how you want to work, and remember that you can use padding, you can fold up a towel or a blanket or even your mat and place that under your knees. So hands are under shoulders, knees are under hips. But for some of us, particularly women, we find that quite strong on our wrists. So if you prefer, you can take your hands slightly forward. So just experiment with what feels comfortable. And take a moment or two to connect with the backs, the tops of the feet on the mat, the palms of the hands and the knees, just feeling that connection with the earth. Remembering as we work into our more spiritual centers, it's really important that we remain grounded as well. So we're going to take an in-breath and we're going to just lift the chin slightly, thinking here about the throat, the Shuddhi chakra, lifting the heart, and then we're going to chant our hips towards our heels. Om Hum. And then we breathe in, looking up at your device if you're not sure. We take a slight back bend as we lift our heart slightly, the throat lifts slightly, and then we chant back. Om Hum. Inhaling to come forward. And just take a few more breaths like that in your own breath rhythm. Anytime you want to rest out, please do so. Really feeling the vibration of the mantra in the throat chakra. Remembering that sound can change matter in a very positive way. And then when you want to rest out, I know some of you don't find pose of a child comfortable, but if you do, you can part your knees slightly, slide forward, slide your hands forward, taking the forehead to the mat, or you can make two fists and rest your forehead on your fists. Or if that's not comfortable, you can rest on your back. So again, just take this time to keep the mind focused on how the body is feeling. Just becoming aware of the peace of your own true nature as the chatter of the mind quietens down. Noticing the space between your thoughts. And I'm going to put in an optional asana, a posture now, and it's very, very optional because this is quite strong. So for most people with ME, long COVID, this might not be appropriate, but I'm going to put in a down dog. I'm doing this particularly for Caroline because I know it's her favourite posture, and she's got one of my favourite cats. I can't say my favourite because I know that Lou is also here with her cat, Paws, who looks almost identical to Caroline's cat, Toby, both sharing screen time. So if you'd like to come into a down dog, come into your all fours position again. And take your hands slightly forward. So I usually suggest one hand's pace forward. Just take a moment or two to think about creating space between the head and the tailbone, this element of space again. And then we're going to tuck our toes under. And remember that this is an invitation only. If you think this is too much, don't do it. If you want to do it, take an in-breath, and then you come up on an exhalation. So lifting up the hips, straightening the knees, and taking the head towards the thighs, keeping the heels lifted. Just take a few breaths here. And whenever you want to come out, you come out on an inhalation. And then you take yourself back into pose of a child or relaxation posture. So remember, only do this if you feel you have the energy. Don't push yourself. It's not for everybody. We all have different bodies. We all have different energy levels. And then when you're ready, sorry, I'll just give you a bit more resting time from that. So when you're ready, we're going to do a little bit of work from sitting. Now the invitation here is you can sit on the floor, on a cushion, on a block, or you can sit in a chair. So just decide what will be most comfortable for you. The main thing is that your back is upright. So my favourite way of sitting is sitting on my heels, but I know not everybody finds that comfortable. So you might find it more comfortable to have a block or a cushion, or like I say, it's always good to have a chair handy. And we just take a moment or two to think about our posture. So just feeling across our sit bones, feeling evenly balanced across the sit bones, and then thinking about the head, the neck, the spine being in line with the ears over the shoulders. And I know, so many of us have got kind of a smartphone neck where our head is poked forward, or we've been working on a laptop. And that's fine too, but we want to just think about our alignment, because what we're doing partly in yoga is kind of counterposing that forward bending movement of the neck, just to open us up across, again, and thinking about opening across the throat and the heart. So think about making space between the crown of the head and the tailbone. So that might mean opening up across the ribs, just lifting everything, thinking about this element of space. And then we're going to take our fingertips, place them on our shoulders. We can work with the breath if we like. If not, that's fine too, just do the movement. So we're going to breathe in to lift the elbows and breathe out as they lower. So just rolling the shoulders, getting some movement in there to counterpose all the tech work we may have been doing. And you might like to reverse that. And then release the arms, drop the hands to the knees. And then I'd like you to bring your awareness to your neck, because you might remember I was talking about the neck being very much part of this chakra. And it's also, interestingly, when we have the stress response, particularly if we have the freeze response from continual stress, or if we've been in shock or trauma at all, our neck seizes up and it can become really stiff. And it also stiffens as we get older. So it's really important that we help to keep our neck mobile. So with that in mind, we're going to take a lovely inhalation. And then as we exhale, we're going to look over our left shoulder. And then we can breathe in, very slowly bring the head back to the center. Remembering everything's done slowly and flowingly in yoga. And then we breathe in again. On the next exhalation, we're going to look over the left shoulder. Inhale, come back slowly to center. Exhale, look over the right shoulder. And this time you might be able to look over a little further. You might feel the stretch in the neck as you come a little bit further round. Breathing in, coming back to center. Breathing out, coming over to the left. A little bit further over, coming back to center. And then take that once more in your own breath rhythm, very slowly to each side. And then just shake out your hands, shake out your arms. Just let everything in the upper body shake. And then relax down. Close your eyes and just take a moment or two to observe how that has affected the whole system, the mind, the emotions, physical body, the energy. And then become aware of the jaw. Now the jawbone is often said to be the tightest joint in the body. So keeping the lips together, just let the chin slightly drop down. And then we're going to take the jaw very slightly from side to side. So it's almost like it's going less than a centimetre each side, to just take it to one side than the other. It's not very attractive to look at, but I will demonstrate if you're not sure. It's really tiny movement, so it's not too much. But just feeling we're getting some mobility and movement into the jaw joint. And then pause, close your eyes, again connect with the base of the spine, your sit bones and the crown of the head. Just feeling this space, this spaciousness in the whole system, lifting the ribs if you need to. Shoulders away from the ears, back of the neck is long. And then become aware of the right side of the body. Take an in-breath and let the right arm just float up. So the arm is close to the ear if that's comfortable for you. If you're on the floor, take the left hand onto the floor. If you're not, that's fine. And then take a gentle bend over to the left. And you can look under the armpit just to help open up the front, the side of the right side of the body. Keep breathing. And then inhale, come up, center yourself. And on an exhalation, that right arm floats back down. And we can take that to the other side if you would like, working slowly. Breathing in, the left arm floats up, palm facing in, arm close to the ear. The right hand might come to the floor if you're on the floor. And then we just take a gentlest bend over to the right. Looking under the armpit maybe, feeling the right side of the body opening. And then breathing in, breathing out, the arm floats back down. And then again, take your fingers in any comfortable position, placing them around the Vishuddhi chakra, the throat chakra. We're going to chant Om, Hum together 3 times. So if you close your eyes, if you're comfortable to do so. So breathing in. Om, Hum. Inhale. Om, Hum. Inhale. Om, Hum. Drop the hands to the knees with the eyes closed. Just allow yourself to sit quietly for a moment or two, feeling the effect of the mantra on the whole system. Breathing through the nose. Feeling the breath going into the back on the inhalation. So the body is like a cylinder. We're using all of the lungs as we inhale. Breathing out fully. And then just noticing the pauses between the thoughts. Coming into harmony with the peacefulness of our true nature, which is always there shining when we allow ourselves to become quiet. And then when you're ready, please come down to lying for the final relaxation. So in whatever position is comfortable for you, on a mat, on the floor, on a sofa, on a bed. We are going to be taking our hands to our heart and our belly. So if you are lying on your front, you might like to just visualize this, or even work from sitting if you're not comfortable on your back. But do remember, it's a good idea to have a cushion under your head. And if you have back issues, you might like to place a cushion or a pillow under your knees. Use a blanket if you feel you're going to get cold, because often as we relax, our body temperature drops. So place one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly, feeling their weight and warmth and kindness. Your eyes can be open or closed, whatever you prefer. Take a moment and notice this gesture. It's a gesture of comfort and wholeheartedness. And we are communicating non-verbally to ourselves right now. This kindness and wholeheartedness and comfort. These gestures are for you, a way for you to comfort and care for yourself. Because even caring for ourselves might require practice. And we know we get better at things as we practice. Recognize that your heart is beating under your hand. Perhaps you can feel the beating of your heart. Don't worry if you can't. If you don't, just sense the work of your heart, because it's working on your behalf, even if you're not thinking about it. It's one of the miracle functions of your amazing body. Just know that being here right now, your heart is doing its job. As you hold your hand over your heart, you might like to see your heart in your mind's eye, working hard, taking care of you, moment by moment. Just be aware of this inner working, the heart steadily beating under your hand. Now, bring to mind something or someone for whom you have a deep sense of gratitude. If you notice gratitude arising, go with it. But if you don't, that's fine too. Don't feel as if you have to manufacture something. Just stay with your heart, recognizing its life-giving force. What we're doing right now is the essence of self-awareness. Just notice now you're breathing in and out. Now shift your awareness to your belly and the hand on your belly and see what you can sense. Sometimes our breathing moves the belly. And if you don't feel your breath and the belly going up and down gently, see if you can breathe a little more deeply if you can. Breathing in and out through your nose. Notice your belly. Perhaps it's moving. This deep, slow breath is a particular way to care for yourself right now. Our ability to care for ourselves is vital to our well-being. It's vital to take the time to acknowledge that caring for ourselves and being aware of ourselves are two vital aspects of physical and mental health. And that's what you're doing for yourself right now in this moment, caring for yourself. No one can do this work for you, only you can do it for yourself. Now let your hands gently relax beside the body, noticing the absence of your hands from your body and the change of pressure. Remember your hands' capacity for self-kindness, noticing that you just practice self-care and self-awareness. Just notice how this feels. And then when you're ready, if you would like, just begin to make gentle movements with your fingers and toes. The invitation is to remain lying if you'd like. But if you'd like to prepare for coming up, just begin to move and stretch the body first. Don't come up suddenly until I ask you to. Everything should be done gently. There's no rushing. And then in your own time, just roll to one side and stay there for a moment or two. Coming up slowly, slowly in your own time to a comfortable sitting position. If you'd like, of course, it's fine if you want to remain lying. And before we close the practice, I'll just say one more thing about this chakra, Vishuddhi chakra, that when we speak truth, we should always speak truth with kindness as well. So there's always that balance, because in the Yoga Sutras, ahimsa is the foundation of the yamas and the niyamas, which are about how we behave. And ahimsa means non-violence. And that's given as the first principle before satyam, which means truth. So yes, we speak truth, we express authentically, but we also do it remembering to be kind as well. And that means being kind to ourselves. So with that in mind, let's take our fingers in any way that's comfortable for you to your throat. And we close the practice with the chant, Om, Hum. So we'll do this together 3 times. So close your eyes, focus on light around your throat. Breathing in that light into the throat chakra. Om, Hum. Breathing in light. Om. Hum. Once more. Om. Hum. With your eyes closed, if that's right for you, drop the hands to your knees, just sitting quietly for a moment or two, focusing on the energy and the prana around the throat chakra. Feeling the effect of the practice on the whole being, mind, body, spirit. And then when you're ready, opening your eyes, bringing your palms together to the Namaste Mudra, remembering this means the divine in me greets and salutes the divine that's in you. So namaste, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Shanti, thank you. So thank you, everyone. I wish you a wonderful week ahead, a restful week ahead, and I wish you lots of peace and authentic truthfulness. So blessings to you all, and I hope to see you soon. And as always, I always say, do say this, if you have paid me, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And also, if you can't afford to, that's fine too. But, you know, thank you for everything. It really, really means a lot. And it's just really lovely to be here with you. So thank you for the privilege of letting me do this. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Fiona. Namaste.
Oh, and just
Thank you, Fiona.
before I switch off, I'd just like to say, Louise, sometime I have to introduce you to Caroline, because you both got identical, beautiful black and white cats, both who are quite elderly and have got health problems. So, yeah, I know, I can see Louise is nodding. I certainly saw Toby earlier, Caroline. I enjoyed that. Okay, everybody, lots of love. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.